decided to come to optometry school pretty late. I think I was probably a sophomore or junior in college. And I was actually an environmental science major in college. And I had some different environmental jobs. I worked in research. I worked for an oil company, actually. And I didn't really like any of the work environments, and it got me thinking about my favorite job that I ever had was actually working customer service in high school, because I got to talk to so many people. And I was at my optometrist, and I've gone to the optometrist since I was 3. It just had never crossed my mind, and it came up, and I'm not sure why it came up, but I think the work environment is really what led me to optometry, a way to combine my interest and love for science, but also being able to build relationships with people throughout my career over 20, 30, 40 years. So in college, to get a little bit more experience, before I decided to go ahead and fill out my application, I started shadowing a local optometrist in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And I was really fortunate to be able to shadow somebody who's very involved in the profession, very involved in the legislative side and expanding our scope of practice. And he was able to teach me about what optometry can be in an ideal environment, and practicing to full scope, and really seeing the medical side of it as opposed to just handing out glasses prescriptions. And so I really got a good feel for all the different kinds of things that optometrists are really capable of doing. I would say that SCO students arguably are the most active on the advocacy side of optometry across the country, because our school actually pays for our AOSA dues for us, so every student is a member. And we have events on campus like State Day, so we get the whole day off where state representatives come out, and we get to talk to them about practice laws in their state and kind of make those connections back home. And we have nationally renowned optometrists that come and speak and push us to become more involved in advocating for our profession. I definitely feel like SCO is so responsive to student needs all the time. Anytime I have a concern, I feel like I could go straight up and say, hey, here's my concern, and somebody's going to hear it and they're going to talk about it. That's not going to be something that is just brushed off. SCO is not only are they responsive, they respond really quickly. And I think a lot of that has to do with us being a standalone private optometry-only school. Is all they're focused on is our success and what they can do to help give us the best experience possible. And nobody kind of knows that better than SCO. I actually chose SCO because it had a bigger class size. I didn't really want to go to a school that had a really small class. And I think there's a lot of advantages to that. I am from a really large city, so I was used to being around a lot of people, but it gives us a chance to see lots of different eyes. People end up in optometry school for all kinds of different reasons, and a big one being that they went to the optometrist their whole lives, probably because something's going on with their eyes. So we get a chance to mix up our lab groups every semester and see each other's eyes, but it also has given me a huge network of friends and peers that I will have for the rest of my career. We have students from all over the country, and whenever we graduate, be practicing all over the country. And so I feel like kind of immediately whenever I graduate, I'll know another optometrist in almost every state. But my favorite thing about SCO is that it is a private school, and so the fact that the administration is so responsive to student needs, and the field is always changing, so as the field changes, SCO can adapt with it. That was super important to me. I love living in Memphis more than I expected. It is actually smaller than what I'm used to, which is different than most people. I would say a lot of people are from smaller towns and smaller cities than Memphis, and so they kind of get that city shock, and I, was kind of taking a step down, moving to a smaller city. But it's such a great time to be in Memphis. My experience at SCO has been beyond what I ever expected. I've received so much support from the school in a lot of different ways that have helped to develop me, not only as an optometrist, but as a member of the community and as a leader. And I really feel like I've gotten to embrace roles that I never expected, and I can only give credit to the school for that.